Mobile Geek's coverage of MWC 2015 is powered by ASUS.
Hey, I'm rolling with Mobile Geeks right here at MWC 2015, and this is a device from a company that just sold its handset division to Microsoft. This is the Nokia N1, which is made in cooperation or as a licensed device by Foxconn actually in China, and it's only available in China, which is kind of sad because it's definitely a very nice looking 7.85-inch tablet running an Intel SoC. We have the Moorfield under the hood here, which is a Z3580 running at up to 2.4 gigahertz on the quad core in this case, and there's a lot of performance in this device, as you can tell by looking at this score here in 3D Mark, scoring 20,200 points with no problems. Getting back to the screen, 7.85 inches in a 4:3 ratio at a resolution of 2048 by 1536 pixels in this case. There is also 2 gigs of RAM in here, and I don't really know about the internal storage. I think it's at least 16 gigs on this, because there is no storage extension, because there is just no micro SD card slot on this device. It's very nicely thin. I guess it's just around 7 millimeters, and it weighs in at just 314 grams, which is very light for a device of this size. There is a 5,300 milliamp hour battery in here, so the battery runtime should be pretty decent. Let's take a quick tour. We have a 5 megapixel shooter on the front right here. There is the 2 volume rocker buttons on the side. It's not really rockers since it's separate buttons. They feel pretty nice. They have a very nice click point to them, but they are a bit wobbly in here. But I can live with that at no problem, because it's sold for just $249 in China, at least in the base configuration. Let's go over to the top where you have your on and off button over there on the right, which is kind of unusual, but probably a nod to the Apple devices. Over here is a microphone and your 3.5 millimeter headset jack. Going over to the back again, we have an 8 megapixel shooter without a flash, sadly, so Nokia might should have spent those just a few dollar cents that should have made the flash possible. If you put in an 8 megapixel camera, that would have helped, I guess. The whole thing is made in a unibody design. The metal wraps nicely around the corners, and there are no borders or anything, so it's definitely a very nice looking and feeling device, and it's also built up to the quality standards of Nokia, so it's definitely very sturdy. It doesn't bend or anything. There's not much pressure. If you put a lot of pressure on it, it will definitely show some color distortion on the screen, but other than that, it's definitely a very nicely made device. So this has just been a quick look at the Nokia N1, and before I forget about it, this is running Android Lollipop 5.0.2 in this case, and they've done a small amount of modifications on here. For example, you can just draw a letter on the screen. Let me try and draw a letter on the screen, and it will bring up all the apps that start with that certain letter. In this case, all the Google services, which is kind of interesting, knowing the fact that the Google services aren't really available in China. Another interesting modification is this app drawer, or not really app drawer, it's kind of a list, which reminds me of the Windows Phone devices or the Nokia X software platform, for example, where their apps are all listed alphabetical when you swipe in from the right. So this was the Nokia N1 at MWC 2015. I was rolling with Mobile Geeks. If you like what we do on our channel, give us a thumbs up, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and we will see you later.
Mobile Geek's coverage of MWC 2015 is powered by ASUS.